Hundreds of millions of euros, contracts with the most powerful brands in the world, villas, luxury cars, and a life beyond imagination. But this story doesn't start on a stage or in the spotlight. It begins in Bondy, a suburb of Paris. That's where a boy grows up who will later become one of the most valuable and influential footballers in the world. How did a child with a dream become a global brand? And what was the real price of that rise to fame? Kylian Mbappé was born in Paris on December 20th, 1998. But his story starts far from glamour in big stadiums. From an early age, everything in his daily life revolved around football. While other kids played, he pursued a clear goal. His big idol was Cristiano Ronaldo, whose career and mentality shaped him and showed him how far ambition could take him. Mbappé took his first steps on the field at the local club, AS Bondy. It quickly became clear that this boy was different, explosive in his sprint, sharp-minded, and unusually mature for his age. His talent didn't remain undiscovered for long. The move to AS Monaco marked the next decisive step. There, Mbappé already made history at just 16 years old when he celebrated his debut in the first team and became the club's youngest player. At an age when others were still learning, he already showed that he was ready for professional football. Was this just an early success, or already the first clear sign of a rise that would soon make all of Europe take notice? With his technique and breathtaking speed, Kylian Mbappé attracted the attention of Europe's biggest clubs early on. On the field, he often seemed like a player from another era, quicker in mind and legs than his opponents. It wasn't long before Paris Saint-Germain made their move. Initially, he came on loan, but by 2018, the club finalized the transfer, signing him permanently for around 180 million euros. With this move, Mbappé became the second most expensive footballer in history. Suddenly, he was at the center of the international football world. Expectations, pressure, and media interest grew with each game. But instead of breaking under it, Mbappé seemed to thrive. He took responsibility, decided games, and repeatedly confirmed that this enormous investment was not a risk, but a vision. Was this the moment when an exceptional talent finally became a global star, whose name would soon be known all over the world? The definitive breakthrough came early. At just 20 years old, Kylian Mbappé led the French national team to the World Cup title in Russia in 2018, becoming a symbol of a new generation overnight. 4 years later, he reconfirmed his status when he became the top scorer at the 2022 World Cup in Qatar. In parallel, he collected national titles with Paris Saint-Germain and shaped the club's identity over several seasons. His name stood for goals, speed, and decisiveness at the highest level. In June 2024, the long-awaited move finally happened. After his contract expired, Mbappé transferred to Real Madrid, signing a 5-year contract valid from July 1st, 2024. Although the transfer was free, the significance of this move was enormous. For Mbappé, it was the fulfillment of a sporting dream and simultaneously the beginning of a new chapter on the biggest stage in world football. Was this the next logical step in a career that seemingly knows no bounds? Kylian Mbappé's transfer to Real Madrid caused a stir not only sportingly, but also financially. Although the transfer was free, the club committed to an exceptionally high signing bonus. According to media reports, this was between 125 and 150 million euros, making it one of the highest amounts ever paid as part of a contract agreement. In addition, there is an annual net salary of around 20 million euros, which continues to place him in the absolute top tier of world football. A look back shows how rapidly his earnings have developed. Already at Paris Saint-Germain, Mbappé was one of the highest paid players in the world. The financial peak followed in 2022 with a contract extension, which according to international media, secured him an annual gross salary of approximately 72 million euros, plus additional bonus payments. Despite these sums, he later consciously decided to move to Madrid. Was it ultimately about even more money, or something that cannot be measured in numbers. With his growing wealth, Kylian Mbappe's lifestyle also changed. In Paris, he temporarily lived in an exclusive apartment with a direct view of the Eiffel Tower, located in one of the city's most prestigious buildings. The apartment spanned the top floor and offered a panoramic view over all of Paris. Media estimated the monthly rent at up to €40,000, an amount that reflected the luxurious standard of this home. Later, Mbappé invested in another property in a particularly sought-after residential area of France, where numerous celebrities also live. Modern design, calm colors, high-quality wood details, and a minimalist style define the interiors. The estimated value of this property was around $10 million. After his move to Spain, the next step followed. In Madrid, Mbappé acquired a luxury villa in the upscale La Moraleja district, which previously belonged to Sergio Ramos. The purchase price was reportedly around €18 million. Is this home just a retreat or the new center of his life in Spain? As one of the most famous footballers in the world, Kylian Mbappé has enjoyed special privileges for years. Already during his time at Paris Saint-Germain, the club provided him with a personal team. This included a private driver, a bodyguard, and an assistant available around the clock. The monthly costs for this exclusive service were estimated at approximately $35,000. For Mbappé, this primarily meant peace, security, and full concentration on his sport. Besides these amenities, he is known for his keen sense of fashion and luxury. He always appears stylish in public, often complemented by top-tier watches. He particularly often wears models from Hublot, Rolex, and Audemars Piguet. Among the most valuable pieces in his collection are a Hublot Big Bang Unico Red Sapphire for around $88,000, a Big Bang Unico Titanium Rainbow for about $69,500, and a Hublot Rainbow valued at up to $94,000. Does this extravagant style merely reflect his success, or has it long become part of the Mbappé brand? Although Kylian Mbappé doesn't have a driver's license, his passion for cars is undeniable. His garage contains both comfortable, everyday vehicles and true luxury models. These include, among others, a Volkswagen Tiguan, several Mercedes models, a Cadillac Escalade, and an Audi A6 Avant. However, the most striking vehicle remains the Ferrari SF90 Stradale, a supercar with over 1,000 horsepower and a value of more than $600,000, which accelerates from 0 to 100 in just 2.5 seconds. Even if Mbappé doesn't drive himself, a private chauffeur ensures his mobility at all times. For him, cars are less a means to an end and more a symbol of status, freedom, and speed. This attitude is also evident in his travels. Already during contract negotiations with Paris Saint-Germain, Mbappé wished for the option to use a private jet at any time. Although this wish was not officially granted, the football star regularly charters private planes, preferring the Bombardier Challenger 350. An hour of flight costs around $7,000 and stands for discretion and flexibility. When things are quieter, Mbappé spends time on luxury yachts like the Prestige 680, whose charter costs are about $6,500 per day. Is this restless lifestyle the price of success, or precisely what drives him? Despite his wealth and luxurious lifestyle, Kylian Mbappé has never forgotten his origins. From the beginning of his professional career, he has been committed to people who were less fortunate in life. This became particularly clear after winning the 2018 World Cup. At that time, Mbappé was only 19 years old and decided to donate all his earnings from the tournament, including bonuses and salaries, to charitable causes. The sum amounted to more than $500,000 and went, among others, to the organization Premiers de Cordée, which offers sports programs for children with disabilities. During the pandemic, Mbappé went a step further. He founded his own foundation, Inspired by KM, with the goal of supporting children and young people in realizing their dreams and developing their talents. This side of his life stands in stark contrast to the public image of the superstar. Is it precisely this down-to-earth attitude that distinguishes him from many others? Or does he see it as an obligation that comes with his success? Off the field, Kylian Mbappé has long built a massive personal brand. On Instagram alone, he now has over 120 million followers, which gives him enormous reach and influence far beyond football. This presence makes him one of the most sought-after advertising partners in the global sports business. Among his most important partners is Nike, with whom he has had a contract for years that, according to media reports, can bring in up to 10 million euros annually. The collaboration with the luxury watch brand Hublot, for which Mbappé acts as a worldwide ambassador, has similar significance. But his ambitions extend beyond classic advertising contracts. Mbappé is a co-founder of the media company Zebra Valley, which produces content related to sports, culture, and the young generation. The company even entered into a long-term partnership with the NBA. With this, Mbappé shows that he sees his future not just as a footballer, but as an entrepreneur and global player. Is he already building the foundation for a career after football? When you add up all the earnings, from player salaries and bonuses to sponsorship contracts and business projects, the extent of his success becomes clear. Kylian Mbappé's current net worth is estimated at around 180 million euros, and it's on the rise. A talented boy from Bondi has become one of the most valuable brands in world football. But has he already reached his peak, or is his story just beginning? If you like this video, subscribe to the channel, leave a like, and stay tuned for more exciting stories from the world of sports.